All right, good afternoon, traders. Today it's August 26, 2025. My name is John Carignan. I am the lead instructor here at the BYOB Trading Room. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody out there in podcast land, digital land, cyber land. All right, let's go take a look how I made 30K on a 442K account. That's not quite 10%, but let's just measure that just to see what that is. I'm just a little curious. Okay, 30K divided by 442 equals 6%. 6%. That's not bad. My goal is 1%. I'll take that. That's nice. They made me wait all day for the rally at the end of the day. Thanks, Fahad. Yeah, they made me wait all day for that rally. Not very nice, not very kind, not very cooperative. Okay, but if you were reading the clues, you knew that the market was bullish. Clue number one, we stayed above VWAP the whole day. Most of the day. Most of the day. Okay? Okay, clue number two, consolidation over prior consolidation. Okay, that was clue number two. That is a bullish outlook. Okay, clue number three, we were putting in higher highs and we were not leaving the area, and then we bounced back up. Okay, so price action was looking good and we had this triple bottom or double bottom in the overnight action in addition to the open market right here. Okay, so again, the 10-minute uptrends over VWAP, they didn't last long at all. Okay, they were very short-lived. You were up and then faded back to VWAP, up and then faded back to VWAP. Notice we never got underneath VWAP on the 10-minute chart. A lot of spikes. All right, a lot of inclusive candles that were like crossing through, but nothing ever completely a full candle closing underneath VWAP. We did the gap fill showing us the bulls were in town. All right, and then we made it back up to where VWAP left off the prior day. And you can see price action for SPY. Nice rip into the close, failing to make a significant lower low here. Okay, so you got price failing to make a significant lower low, and hence we kept going back up to challenge the highs, and you can see price action ripping into the final hour here. See, from 2:30, actually from 2 o'clock all the way into the close, closing at the end of the day at the high of the day. Okay, so there's SPY. So what do we got on SPY? 10-minute chart is a 10-minute uptrend. 2-hour chart is a 2-hour uptrend. Daily chart is a daily uptrend. Weekly chart, weekly uptrend. Monthly chart, monthly uptrend. What's my favorite setup to trade? It's the 10-minute uptrend over VWAP that's inside a 2-hour uptrend, that's inside the daily uptrend, that's inside the weekly uptrend, that's inside the monthly uptrend. You got all those time frames, all of the larger time frames supporting your pattern, your setup. That's why I like that, because it have all the bigger time frames supporting that. And that's my favorite right now, okay? Because in the future, we're not going to have that. There'll always be 1 or 2 or 3, okay, that are not doing the same thing that we need them to do. There might be a monthly or a weekly in the down. There'd probably be a daily in the downtrend, while the weekly is in an uptrend and the monthly's in an uptrend. Okay, just saying, you won't find that in the future. All right, so for the candle for today, all right, on the SPY, all right, we've got, I think that's an outside day. Yeah, that's an outside day. So that's a higher high and a lower low. Closing over a bullish trap over the 17. All right, all the way up here at the top of quadrant 4. All right, that's bullish and in an uptrend. Okay, that's the daily chart on SPY. QQQ. QQQ did a lower high and a lower low, closing over a bullish cross and over the 17 EMA. Okay, QQQ still in an uptrend, closing near the top of quadrant 4. That's bullish. Okay, let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Diamond Dow putting in a lower high, lower low, but closing over a bullish trap over the rising 17, top of quadrant 4. That's bullish and still in an uptrend right there. Okay, that's Diamond Dow. Let's take a look at IWM. Okay, IWM putting in an outside day, higher high, lower low, closing over the bullish trap over the 17 EMA. Up there in quadrant 4, that's bullish. All right, still hasn't made lower lows. All right, so we're still in an uptrend on IWM. FNGU. Price action for FNGU is lower high, lower low, closing over bullish cross or a bearish trap, okay, and over the 17 EMA, okay. Still in a downtrend that's not moving down. Still bullish, holding the plank up here in quadrant 4 for almost 2 months. Holding the plank up there in quadrant 4. Okay, so that's bullish. All right, but in a downtrend that's not moving down. Okay, so there's price action for FNGU. All right, let's take a look at our technicals for today. T2101. Okay, got an increase in the breadth. All right, increase in the breadth. Little consolidation over prior consolidation. All right, that means they're putting more effort, more capital, more push into this up move. Okay, breadth is increasing. That's what you want to see. Okay, T2122, price action, spent the day for the most of the day in, well, we spent most of the day, I gotta say, inside the overbought zone, but not in the nosebleed section, so I like that. All right, so price action spends most of the day in the overbought zone. I like that. It could stay up there for 7 or 8 days. Right, you start getting up towards the 100 or the 99.9, all right, then you're looking at a possible rollover pullback. Okay, it's T2122. You can stay in this section for a while, but if you start to get up towards 100 or 99.9, you'll get most of the time you get a pullback. We got a pullback here on the 23rd when we were up there. We're up there here. Notice we got a pullback. We're at the 100 level on that one. See that? 100. Okay, so we're not at the 100. I like it up there, but not at the 100. That's T2122. T2123. Hey. New rally high for T2123 on the 15-minute chart. Look at the price action today. It's a move up and over to the right, holding that higher ground. That's bullish. Okay, consolidating over prior consolidation. All right, we got a lot of that, all right, going on in this chart. Okay, I'm going to box it off. All right. Okay, so you got consolidation. We got consolidation. We got consolidation. All right, and then we got more consolidation. Okay, consolidation over prior consolidation is a bullish environment. That is a bullish behavior. That is a bullish outlook. All right, that is bullish. All right, seeing those bearish those bull traps right through here that aren't getting filled by the bears. It's showing some weakness on their part. Anytime we see bullish traps that aren't getting filled by the bears, we're up over the 200 SMA right here. That's bullish. Okay, nice move up, new rally high. Okay, it's looking really fantastic right there. Okay, let's take a look at the 3-bar chart. Okay, you can see we're up over these two humps. Watch this. I'm going to put the crosshairs on the two humps. You see the price action, the candles over to the right. See how they stick up and over those two peaks right there. Okay, all that's left is the all-time high right here. That's all that's left. Okay, so I won't be surprised if we set a new all-time high. Okay, price action up over the 200 SMA, up there in quadrant 4. That's bullish and in an uptrend on the 3-bar chart and the 15-minute chart. Up there in quadrant 4. That's bullish and in uptrends and over the 200 SMA and holding the higher ground. That's a show of strength right there. That's T2123. FNGU. All right, so little meltdown underneath 200 SMA, holding the spike candle or the rubber band candle, moving over to the right for the most part, hanging out on top of VWAP but under the 200. And then finally at the end of the day, at the very end of the day, the bulls step in, and there you go, a little rip right back up on top of 200 SMA. I like that. Did not like this yesterday, and I like this happening today. See how yesterday we came down under it? Well, we held this area, and then we came back at the end of the day and closed over it. That's bullish. That's bullish right there. That's FNGU. Let's take a look at a few sectors. All right, let's take a look at let's take a look at UNG. Okay, UNG put in new all-time low again for UNG today. All right, quadrant 1, that's bearish and in a downtrend. See all the new all-time low. Okay, so you know it's in a downtrend. See all the red dots. Okay, UNG downtrend, weak. All right, bearish and in a downtrend. USO. Okay, USO got a habit of moving up and giving it up, so it's just neutral. USO's candle today had a nice 4-bar run right there. I liked it there, and then I don't like this. Lower high, lower low, closing under the bullish trap and under the 17 EMA. Again, just neutral and still in a downtrend. All right, a downtrend that's not moving down. All right, so there's USO, still neutral. Again, got to hold the higher ground. All right, SLV. SLV, 12-year highs up here. Price action in an uptrend. See, there's a high right here. And they made a higher high up here. So price action is in an uptrend. We're up there in quadrant 4. That's bullish. See us planking and holding the higher ground. Again, more consolidation, okay, over prior consolidation. Right there, okay? It's a bullish outlook. All right, that's a bullish behavior. All right, so there's SLV. GLD. GLD still hanging on to the area over 300. Still planking now. It's been four months straight doing the plank. Big show of strength. Holding those highs at the top of quadrant 4. That's bullish. That's a huge bull flag. Huge. All right. Gold looking good. Just still consolidating over to the right. This is really winding up. We could see a big breakout. See the wind up? This is like a spring being coiled up, compressed. I don't know if you ever worked on your car and you had to use a spring compressor. All right, it compresses the spring so you can load it into your car. Well, this is a spring being compressed right here, all getting wound up. All right, this is probably going to break out for a ways, maybe up to 400, maybe up to 350. All right, so gold, bullish and in an uptrend. All right, and let's take a look at how we did what we did today. Okay, got 30K, traded some CGC right here, some $3 calls. All right, 143 strike, made $9 on those. I'll go to the 10-minute chart and zoom in and push this up. Okay, so CGC, I saw this consolidate over prior consolidation, so I bought some CGC. That was bullish behavior, and it was up on top of that anchored VWAP. I like that. All right, so I bought some calls, and of course now we got today consolidation over prior consolidation. So I got 148 calls, so I took some profit on a couple of them right there. Okay, so I made $9 on those. $403, 17 days till expiration. SPY 670 calls. Okay, $403 on those. Okay, those I kind of bought the lows and sold the highs right into the rally. Okay, it's kind of obvious right there on SPY. Okay, 655 calls, 10 days till expiration for SPY. 2,500 on those. Again, I caught the bottom down here on this red candle. I bought the pullback, and then I sold the rally. All right, so I made 2,500 on those. QQQ, 580 calls, 3 days till expiration, $502. Again, I was bidding for these calls on the pullback right in through here, and I sold into strength right there. Okay, bid the pullback, sold into strength. Okay, $320 on some 650 SPY calls. Again, buying the dips and selling the peaks of these candles. Okay, so on the candle lows, I'm buying the lows of the candles. On the candle highs, not very big candle highs, selling the highs of those candles. And I just kept it going, kept it going, kept it going, right into the close right there. So there's $320 on those. $2,600 on some 646 calls, 1 day till expiration. Again, buying the pullback right here. See the pullback, buying the pullback. See price rip, almost do a green erases red right up here. So I bought some, sold into the rally, reloaded on this dip, counting on a bounce. And we got the bounce, the red rubber, the school ball bounce, and sold into that red rubber school ball bounce rally right there. Okay, lost 10K on these 580 calls. I got too big on these yesterday, and I paid dearly for it in the morning. I struggled with them all day. Lost 10K on those. 22K on these 573 QQQ calls, 0 DTE. All right, those. Bought the lows, sold the highs. Same thing on those candles. Bought the lows, sold the highs. I was dealing with theta decay. As you can see, price started out up here at 49 cents and decayed all the way down to 2 cents, okay? So at the same time I'm dealing with the candles, I'm dealing with the theta decay. Not a fun spot to be in. That's why I say be careful with those 0 DTEs, okay? Unless you've got flexibility and you can get your fills in, it's not easy to do when it's down that low. All right, 11K 900 there on some 645 calls, SPY. Again, buying the dips, selling the peaks right there. Okay, buying the dips, selling the peaks. That's it right there for the day. All right, that's it for me for today. Take any questions if you guys got questions. If not, we'll come back tomorrow, do it again. All right? Really nice day. They really made us wait. You had to be patient. It was looking, if you cover up all of this right over here, if I covered up all of that with a picture, let me pop a picture up here, right here. Here's a decent picture. Okay, so if I cover up all this price action before 2 o'clock, it really just looks like they're moving over to the right. Okay, see that? Like all day. That's like 9:30 to 2 o'clock. The range was about $1.25. Okay, it's just moving to the right. Okay, let me just say, the good news, when you're in consolidation and you see things just moving to the right, know this. Just put this in the back of your head. Actually put it in your plan. All right? All right? This is what you want to do. Is whenever you see consolidation, there's probably a 95 to 98% chance, okay, that you're going to get a breakout. I can't tell you when it's going to happen, but whenever you find consolidation, you want to put on an alert so that you can catch the breakout. All right, see the breakout. Okay, there's, like I said, there's like a 90% chance that you're going to get a breakout. Might not happen today, might not happen tomorrow, okay? This one just happened to happen today. But that's your clue to step back, lose the FOMO for a minute, all right? And just say to yourself, well, if this is consolidating, I'm probably going to get a breakout. All right? And then you look for the clues. Oh, yeah, consolidation over consolidation. That would be bullish, so I'm probably going to look for some calls, all right, for when this thing gets ready to break out, okay? That's how I think, all right, when it's consolidating like this. And it's consolidating over VWAP. Well, that's bullish up there, okay? So that would say I want some calls, probably going to break out to the upside. Okay, so you notice we've got these little micro higher highs in these candles through here, all through here. Okay, little dip back to VWAP, but notice they couldn't get under VWAP. That's a big clue there too. Can't close any candles underneath VWAP. 10-minute candles. Okay, so when you see something like this, and I know it sucks because it drags on all day long, okay, try to say to yourself, the good days are coming, all right, or the good hour is coming, because eventually, like I said, there's like a 90% chance you're going to get a breakout. Might not happen today, and it might not happen tomorrow. But let me just say, the tighter it consolidates, the bigger the move is. Okay. Had 2 good SPY trades, got burned on an MP calls. Bought the breakout, added, and just added, and it dropped. I hate that when that happens. I can't. Sometimes that breaks my spirit. I'm just gonna say I'm just like you guys. Okay, just want you to know that something like that happens. But you gotta step back. You gotta get up out of the trading chair, walk around. Okay, go to the kitchen, get a glass of water, come back and say, all right, how am I going to come back from this? Yeah. Just want to trade SPY. That's my favorite. And I'm starting to trade QQQ just as much as SPY now, and I'm loving it. All right, I really like it. All right, everybody, I'm going to see you. Yes, it's a lot easier to trade those. Thank you. A lot easier to trade the SPY, the IWM, and the QQQ than it is to trade single securities. All right, everybody, have a beautiful evening. Thank you for being here. I'll see you all tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Let's do it again.